Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Last year for the 49ers should have been one of the most epic seasons of all time. It should have been, obviously close out the Super Bowl, quest for 6, but it was just so dominating throughout so much, the offense, the defense, all those things. But there were a few things that, you look back now, hindsight's 2020, and you're like, that wasn't right. That didn't seem right. And one of those things was Javon Hargrave, who was not the top free agent or one of the top or what. He was the capital T. Like, he was the most prized free agent out of the entire NFL. And the Niners got him, which I was shocked. I remember when we signed him, it was just like, I did not see that coming at all. Now he comes in and, he got paid. He deserved it. He's had a hell of a career. And it's not like he was bad last year. He wasn't bad. He was a good player. But he wasn't the best free agent. You paid for way more than you got back. Last year on our countdown, Javon Hargrave came in number 6. This year, he's number 13. And that's with Eric Armstead leaving. With Chase Young gone. That's with Cleveland Farrell gone. That's Javon Kinlaw gone. Like, we've lost all these guys at this position, but he still fell 7 spots. He had a terrible playoff run. It might have been the worst player on the 49ers defense, not named Ambry Thomas, on the defensive side. Now, the Super Bowl, he had a good Super Bowl. And so that's awesome. But, it's just like, and he's played well. Like, he still was good. You go back, you look at the stats, which we'll break down. Like, it was a good year, but whenever you pay that much, it's like it taints what it is. Which Javon Hargrave are we going to get this year? 31 years old. He's long in the tooth now. And shout out to my man, Josh, executive producer of today's show. Javon Hargraves wears jersey number 98, and he's been awesome in camp. One of the most unblockable guys. We've had guards out, but even whenever Aaron Banks is in, they go against each other more than anybody. This dude dominates Aaron Banks on the regular. 6'2", 305. And it's just been awesome. Third round pick way back in the day. We'll talk about the third round. He's made a hell of a career. Entering into his 9th season, which is incredible. He was a 2-star recruit out of South Carolina State. Like, this guy has had a hell of a career, and he's made a lot of money, and nothing makes me happier than that. And I hope he makes some more. Now, he participated. He didn't even get invited to the Senior Bowl. He was an East-West Shrine Bowl guy. Had a good performance. And, a lot of it was just his size. He wasn't overly dynamic at a small school scale. But as soon as he got in the NFL, he was awesome. Pittsburgh Steelers drafted him, great. Signs huge deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, great. Signs huge deal with the 49ers, good, not great. We'll see. But there's still 3 more years left on his deal, which he's 31. Yeah, take that for what you will. Pro Bowl selection 2021, 2022. Had 11 sacks in 2022, insane year. And there was one point where Javon Hargrave, it was like after 3 or 4 weeks, he was like one of the leading defensive player of the year candidates. Like, that's who he can be. Yeah, just this penetrating, slashing, leverage defensive tackle that just causes problems. But, again, you signed him to a mega 4-year deal after age 30. Now, he's been an NFL Ironman. He doesn't miss games at all. In fact, if we go through, we just look at his career. He missed 1 game in 2020. That was it. He doesn't miss games. He missed 1 game last year with a hamstring. Like, he is a guy that shows up and plays consistently. Damn good player. Really, really good. Now, again, let's look at last year, okay? You thought him and Armstead was going to be undeniable, just amazing. Armstead stops the run. Hargrave gets the pass. Didn't really happen. Hargrave was injured all the time. We never really got to see that too much. And played 782 snaps last year. That's good. And, again, look at the PFF scores, okay? 73.9 overall, good. It's not great. 49 against the run. 49.0. That's terrible. But he hasn't been a great run defender his entire career. What makes him special is the pass rush. 87.2 pass rush grade. That's elite. Now, the sacks and the quarterback hits didn't correspond with that high PFF grade. Last season's totals, okay? 44 tackles, 8 tackle for losses, 14 quarterback hits, 7 sacks, 23 solo run stops, 38 hurries, 7 quarterback, again, now we're looking at PFF data. All those 3-year lows, all of them, every single one, across the board. And whether you're looking PFF scores, Pro Football Reference scores, doesn't matter. His least productive year in the past 3 years. Now, why? Hargrave came in at camp and was asked, what he's working on and why last year was the way he was. This is a telling little clip here from Hargrave himself.
I think it's just overall. I feel like I could have won a lot more in the pass rush stuff and just be better in the run game stuff and just being in way better shape than I was last year.
Being in way better shape. And so, one, you love the accountability. You love the assessment. Now, what do you do with it? He's looked great in camp. He really has. And so, if we're getting that and we're getting improved play, then all right. We'll all take that. We all need better play. If he goes back out there and gets 7 sacks again, man, you're talking about we might cut this guy. Like, that might be a cap casualty. Now, let's look at those cap hits. Again, 3 years left on his deal. This year, his cap hit's only $9.2 million. Not bad at all. Next year, that thing balloons up huge. $28.1 million cap hit next year. And a post-June cut, you'd save $20 million. So Hargrave wants to make the rest of this money. He's going to have to play this year. He's going to have to play. Otherwise, it's Eric Armstead 2.0. You're going to have to take a pay cut or we're going to move on from you. That's kind of where it is. Then cap hit in 2026. Oh, last year the deal, 29.8. I don't see how that deal happens. And then there's a $10 million void cap hit in 2027. Niners paid up pretty big to go get this dude. No doubt about it. Now, again, I talked about how terrible he was in Green Bay and the Detroit playoff games. He was awful. Played against backup guards, too. They had injuries. Couldn't do anything. Javon Kinlaw would come in to rotate and give him a break. Kinlaw was 100 times better. Now, in the Super Bowl, 1 sack, 1 fumble recovery, 6 tackles. He played well. By far one of his better games of the entire season. So you're hoping maybe he was just injured. The hamstring, wasn't 100%. He got that time off and then dominated. So hopefully you're getting more of that. That's what you got to have. Now, you look at just where he was drafted. 89th overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2016. And we kind of did a little bit of this recap whenever we talked about Malik Collins because they were in the same round. Listen to all the players that were drafted in the 3rd round of the NFL draft in 2016. Kevin Byard, Carl Nassib, Ngakoue, Joe Thuney, Isaac Seumalo, Austin Hooper, Kendall Fuller, Malik Collins, Jacoby Brissett, Graham Glasgow, Justin Simmons, who just got signed. Like, stacked. If that was a first-round haul in 2016, you'd be like, dang, that's a good first. Like, that was just such a good draft. 49ers selected in that round, Will Redmond. I don't think he ever played for us. He was terrible. Now, you step out, you look at the entire 2016 draft collectively, 1st through 7th round. There's a weighted approximated value score that Pro Football Reference gives, basically how great your career has been. Hargrave got a 52 score. Joey Bosa got 51. Ngakoue 50. Some other scores. Leonard Floyd 55. Devondre Campbell 49. We got a lot of players from that draft. Malik Collins 44. Buckner 70. Yep. The 2 highest WAV scores of that entire draft, Dak Prescott, Tyreek Hill, they have 91 scores on that. So kind of puts it, he's a top 20 player of that draft, guaranteed. Should have been a first-round pick, went late 3rd. Dude's a baller. Career 44.5 sacks, incredible. Dude's just really, really good. And I think he's got a lot of playing time left in him. He hasn't suffered major injuries, plays all the time, very disruptive. What are the 49ers going to get this year? That's the question. This is a guy that has 112 career starts. Man, that's impressive. Now, if I was a betting man, which I am, Shout out to my bookie. What I would do, I would set the over-under on Hargrave's sacks this year probably at 6.5. Lower than what he did last year. Last year he did 7. Another year, 6.5. That's not good. If you were to say, like, what's the lowest sack total I would take right now? 8.5. You told me Javon Hargrave goes out there, gets 8.5 sacks. Will you take it or leave it? I'm saying take it. Take it. That's not even that great for Hargrave. It's good from an interior, defensive lineman, but it's not great. That's what we need. We need 8.5, 9, 10 sacks for what he is getting paid and what they have attributed the cap, the future cap, to him. And whenever you look at all the personnel moves. Yeah. And so you're hoping, best case scenario, him and Malik Collins, Jordan Elliott, those 3 guys, Kevin Givens, that rotation just kills. Run game, ain't got that big run stuffer anymore. I mean, we lost our 2 biggest run stuffers in the middle, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave. We lost them. Malik Collins, good. That's not really what he does either. Jordan Elliott, that's not what he does. Kevin Givens, it's never what he does. So we'll see how that goes. Now, worst case scenario, he does not contribute at the level we need him to, and this is the last year on the Niners, and we offer him a pay cut, and he's gone. I don't want that. He doesn't want that. Niners don't want that. Everybody wants the 49ers and this relationship to work out. It's just, is it going to happen? Is it? I sure as hell hope so. Javon Hargrave, you are a stud. I hope you stay healthy and play lights out, as we saw in little glimpses. And the fact that one of the good glimpses came late in the year, that gives me a little bit of hope. Hope is a dangerous thing. Drive a man insane. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Hargrave, go be a top 6 player. You were 6 last year, 13 this year. I don't want you going down further. I want you going up. Let's go get them. For us, we'll just keep counting them down.